The Mansfield ISD School Board has called a bond election for May 6, 2017, based on the recommendation of the Facilities and Growth Committee.
Facilities and Growth Committee, it was formed to study the potential growth in our district as well as evolving issues and aging issues for our current facilities and our infrastructure. So the Demographers Report shows that the district's growing potentially by 3,000 students in the next 5 years and potentially 7,000 students in the next 10 years. Most of the growth that we're going to experience is in the southeast section of our district. Currently, there are 3 major subdivisions that are planned for that area, and potentially another 10,000 homes in the southeast section of our district. So the committee was formed through recommendations from our Board of Trustees, from our superintendent, and from our community at large.
I was so excited to get to be part of this, and when I got the call to be part of it as a community member, it was exciting because you feel like you can contribute.
We convened our meeting in our committee in July of 2016. There were about 50 members, and the wonderful thing about the members is that we were quite diverse.
We met as a group of parents, teachers, administrators, professionals in the community, just to give our feedback to the district as far as what we felt our needs were.
It was a long process. We spent 7 months, 10 meetings over that 7 months, and we were able to digest an awful lot of data.
During the whole process, I do feel like it was grassroots in nature, that it truly was community members. It truly felt like you were making a contribution that was truly out of need from a non-Mansfield ISD employee standpoint.
And basically what we looked at was, we looked at the finances of the district, we looked at the facility and equipment needs of the district, and tried to understand some of the projections as far as growth and what was happening in Mansfield, to try to figure out what is it that our district needs in order to meet its mission of inspiring and educating our children.
We're looking at a substantial amount of growth in the district, and so we had to address growth needs, but at the same time, we're a very large district. We have facilities that are aging, and so we had to look at aging. We had to look at evolving needs because education is changing.
And so just the great need in Mansfield, not only to expand and build for growth, but to make sure that as we evolve and as we change, that older buildings and older programs get a new outfit to fit the current needs of today's students.
And we think that we're bringing some of the older schools into equity with the newer schools, with some of the proposals, and then we have to address growth. We're going to have more schools to take care of the growth in the district, and we think that we've done as much as we can with the finances that are available to do that.
So we're going to be addressing safety for our children, equity needs for our children, ensuring that the buildings are renovated in the ways that they need to be so our children can be focused on learning. We'll be adding some facilities. We're going to add 3 new schools for the growing population here in town. All those things that we need to keep the teacher ratio where it needs to be to get the most out of the educational process.
The $275 million bond election addresses facility needs in 4 main areas, including student growth, equity and student experience, safety and security, and infrastructure improvements. In the area of student growth, $143,300,000 will be allotted for 1 new elementary school, 1 new intermediate school, and 1 new middle school, all to be opened in the southern area of the district on land already owned by the district. Also, $67,400,000 are to be used for equity and student experience. This includes enclosing the courtyards at T.A. Howard and Rogine Worley Middle Schools to provide more classroom space, renovations for equity, safety, and upgraded standards at various campuses across the district, adding a dedicated science lab at each of the district's elementary schools, and multi-purpose buildings to serve all athletic programs at each high school. Additionally, $10,050,000 will be dedicated to the safety and security of our students. This includes updating playground equipment, shade structure, and installing a synthetic play surface at all elementary and intermediate schools. Updating and enhancing video surveillance on all campuses, upgrading fire alarm systems that are in need of replacing, and installing LED lights at all middle school fields. And finally, $54,250,000 will be used for infrastructure improvements. Those include upgrades to technology cabling and backup system, HVAC upgrades and replacements, roof replacements, improvements to drainage, paving, and weatherproofing, and interior finish and hardware upgrades. The $275 million bond election will touch each campus in the Mansfield ISD. For more information, please visit mansfieldisdbond.org.